Hey y'all, so I know I've been MIA for just a little bit, not too bad, not too long, but just for a little bit I was kind of gone. But that's because y'all, my mental health was not where it needed to be on this YouTube channel right now. So I was thinking, as I started to get myself back together a little bit, that I have not done a Let's Talk About It on this channel in a long time. I told y'all that those are not like long gone and forgotten. I just kind of like the vlogging style better, but I do still like sometimes just sitting down and talking because sometimes there isn't always something to vlog. And I was looking at just through my channel last night because sometimes, y'all, I don't be wanting to do YouTube, but when I look through my channel and just look at how far I've come, that gives me motivation to like make another video or whatever, right? So I was trying to find that motivation and I was looking at past videos and I was like, oh my gosh, like I really miss my Let's Talk About It. And today is Friday, I'm off work, and I was like, why not just do a little video about mental health and just processing your emotions, because I do have a degree in psychology. Y'all know that. Hold on, wait. Can you see in the back? Here we go. Hold on. Boom. Okay, boom. I got my little degree. I'm still off that post-grad high, y'all. I still am, and I don't care. So yeah, that, and just wanted to talk about, because I've been like through so much change in the past like 90 days of my freaking life. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it because I really miss doing these a lot. Okay, so boom, like I just said, the last 90 days of my life has been just like a lot of change. Like, well, really like the last 6 months of my life, but let alone in the last 90 days. So y'all know I graduated college, and then I moved halfway across the country by myself, and then I got 2 jobs, and then I was working 12 hours, 5:30 to 5:30. I was really on that grind in my bag, and I never got a moment, really from the second I turned my tassel, I never got a moment to really just sit and think about what I've done, all that I've accomplished, all that I failed at, like all those things. Like I never got to sit and just be with those emotions because I always felt like I was on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, without realizing how important it was to process any consequence that came with what I just did. Now, consequence is not necessarily good or bad. It's just a result of something. So a consequence can be good or bad. And yeah, like just thinking about all the humongous transitions and changes that I have been going through and that have taken a toll on me subconsciously. Like I wasn't really realizing how I was slowly but surely just kind of like disintegrating away because I was like on autopilot, and I was also trying to adjust. Like those two things were mixing together and it wasn't making anything pretty. Trust me, it wasn't. What I recently realized about where I am at now is that I kind of lost my not sense of self, not that, but I used to really be into just like meditating. Y'all know I like to write and all that, and praying, and really making sure I was staying grounded with myself. And with all the transition and stuff, I kind of lost that, and I kind of stopped practicing it as much as I was. And I feel like when I was into those things, that's when I was, I guess, at my best. I mean, not like the peak, because things were still happening that were hard, but it was a lot easier to deal with. So when you take like moving across the country by yourself at 21 years old, and you've never been away from your family, and you just also completed a huge milestone like graduating college, not only did you do all that, but you are the only person of color at your job, you are the only female there, and you're the youngest one there. Like, take all of that, and you don't know anybody, and you've never been an adult before, and you're living on your own, and you're paying bills, like, and all that happening like back to back, if not at the very same time, was, I don't know how I kept my head above water. I really don't. Really, it was the Lord, but still. So I really had to figure out how to find time to get back into those things that manifested all of this in the first place. which was praying and meditating and journaling and writing and working out. That's part of, I've take working out as like part of my meditation, I ain't gonna lie. So, and really investing into myself wholeheartedly, and not in a selfish way, but just to make sure that I'm good. Like, you gotta check on yourself every now and again, girly. Like in the shower, like, not check like that, but like that is my peace when I'm in the shower, because like it's just a reward for getting through the day, right? And that's when I would check in, like, how am I feeling right now? How am I feeling right now? Like, why did that thing earlier make me angry? Or why did that thing earlier make me happy? And so I really am trying to do better at understanding my own emotions, because y'all, I used to and low-key still have anger issues, like bad anger issues, y'all. Back in the day, like, I could not even play a freaking board game. If I would lose, I would flip the board. I didn't care. Like, sometimes my parents would not let me play computer games or board games if I would not act right, or if I would get like too mad. Like, I would be banned from them because I would act the fool, because I would just get mad. So, but after I've gotten older, I'm trying to get better at my anger and other emotions. Not even just with that. I just like am trying to learn how to not go from 0 to 10 in any emotion, whether that's happiness, sorrow, whatever. Like, I'm trying to find a middle ground. I don't need to be going from this side of the spectrum to this side of the spectrum in a matter of 0.25 seconds or 0.0 seconds, because it's not healthy. So that all goes back to checking in on yourself and processing your emotions. Because there was something yesterday that made me angry, and when I was in the shower, I was just thinking, reflecting on my day and reflecting on how I felt in that very moment. I was like, why did that thing earlier make me angry? And I would kind of like dissect the situation or just deconstruct it. And it made me angry because I was embarrassed. Usually anger comes from is a result of another emotion. So I was trying to figure out like where it was coming from, because had I not like thought about that and processed it, I probably would have like held onto it without knowing I was holding onto it, and then wouldn't have learned from the experience effectively. So, doing like, when you try to understand why do the same things keep happening to me, probably because one, you haven't learned, and two, you haven't learned because you haven't taken the time to process it. So back to what I was thinking about, I was embarrassed, and I was embarrassed because I felt like my intelligence was being challenged, and I don't like that. So now I know that I don't like my intelligence being challenged in a way that's not right, because the other person was incorrect and they were trying to make it like I was the dumb one, but that wasn't the case. And trying to convince people sometimes is a waste of time, so I let it go. But yeah, so when you break those things down, like, okay, I get angry when I'm embarrassed. I get angry when I feel like my autonomy is being messed with. I get angry when I feel like my personal space is being invaded. Even though in the moment it's hard to see something like that, when you break it down, you'll see it. Okay, I say all that to say that processing what you are not just like going through, but it doesn't have to be something hard. It can be something happy too. But a lot of the things that have happened to me very recently have been like hard to deal with, very hard to deal with. And I had to just take a step back and try to understand how I got to this place, or how I can, I guess, continue to be better. Like, I'm constantly trying to be better, but you have to make sure you don't confuse trying to be better with trying to move on to the next thing, because those two are very different. And if you're always trying to move on to the next thing, then you will never, I'm not gonna say you'll never be happy, but how can you live in the present moment? And that's the most important thing, because the next thing hasn't happened yet, therefore it doesn't exist. And what already happened needs to be learned from. So just be right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? So that takes a lot of practice, and I'm not by any means a teacher of how to do those things. But yeah, oh, and another giant change that I don't know how I forgot to mention, I cut my freaking hair, and that's a vlog on my channel. And listen, a lot of your identity is tied up in your hair, whether you realize it or not. So shave your head bald and see how you feel. Before you try to rebuttal that, just shave your head bald and see how you feel. I didn't shave it bald, but I felt bald enough. But yeah, that's another big change. So also, pause. Can we believe that I'm at 493 freaking subscribers? Can you? Dang it, it won't. Well, anyways, hold on. I'm at 493 subscribers. That is crazy to me, y'all. Like, I can count on my hands, 7 subscribers away from being at 500. And you know, when you get to 500, you are a step away from being monetized. That's one of the requirements, that you have to be monetized so I can finally start making money. But obviously, I do this because I like to do it. I like to come on here and just run my mouth and just talk. And I also like to be the star of my own show, which is why I like to vlog. I don't like editing. That's the only part of YouTube that I despise with a passion. I do not like editing. But anyways, I kind of went off track right there. I did just want to come on here and just film another Let's Talk About It, because they're not long gone. They're still a part of me, and what I like to do on this channel is just not all the time I feel like freaking vlogging. And life has been kind of rough lately, and I just wanted to, I guess, make a video not about specifically what I'm going through, but about how I've managed to get through the hardness in the past and how I have just taken on so much change in so little time. So that is why processing your emotions is so important, because you will get lost in the tornado of life, and you might even lose yourself too when it's just like one thing after another, and you feel like if one more thing happens to me, I'm going to explode. And it's easy to think about it that way, but you really just have to, on a daily basis, if you can, just take a second. It doesn't take any effort. It's free. You don't have to people process their emotions differently. You know, you can journal, you can work out, you can go on walks, but really just sitting there, or when you're just thinking about thoughts in the shower, just thinking about your day, how you really feel in that moment, and that small change right there can lead to more habits of better self-care and not getting so lost in the turbulence of unfortunate things that happen in life. So especially coming from me when I'm pretty much down here by myself and I don't have much of a support system. Everybody that is my support system is halfway across the country, and I just, I know phone calls are one thing, but sometimes I just need a hug, y'all. I haven't had a hug from my mother in months, okay? And sometimes I really just crave that. But since I can't have that, I kind of have to be my own support system, and that is how I support myself, by just simply processing on a daily basis, or even on an hourly basis, however often you feel like you need to do it, the things that you are feeling, because that is just as much as a part of your reality as the physical things are. So that is it. I'm going to end this video here. That is my little, let's talk about it. I brought it from the dead, even though it was never dead. And I'm rearranging a lot of things in my life right now. Like I said, I'm not going to be specific about anything, but I'm rearranging a lot of things, and hopefully I can have some more vlogs coming soon, but I'm not even going to put that as a guarantee, because I might just keep it with Let's Talk About It for now. We'll see, because I like doing both. But until then, I will see y'all later.
Daydream with me, let your mind explore all the things we were created for. Possibilities, an open door that keeps us reaching out.